Hi YouTube, Captain Bart 1 here. This is a viewer request about sheath waxing. And I've waxed several leather sheaths in my time here. I actually got the instructions from Bushcraft USA on their forum section. If you put it in the search engine, you know, waxing a leather sheath or waxed leather, you should come up with enough hits. The method I'm going to describe is not the only way to do it, but it's the way that's worked for me. Here you're going to see we have a Blind Horse Knife Woodsman Pro. On your right is the leather sheath that came with it. It is unwaxed. You'll see it's very flexible. If you look at the dangler, you know, very flexible there. And I got the knife from Bush Bummin 29 in a big trade we did a while back. I kind of like the knife. Liked it enough that I called BHK and I ordered a left-handed sheath. I think I've mentioned it on a video or two that I am unapologetically left-handed. And any left-handed sheaths I get that are leather, I generally wax. And we'll go over that process now. I'm going to move the right-handed sheath out of the way for the time being. Let me show something here with the knife. Here is the fit in the sheath. It's a pouch sheath. If you look, one bounce and it's out. And I'm not fond of that. I tend to find that waxed leather retains almost as well as Kydex. And you'll see that here in a minute. Here is my waxing station, if you will. This is a cake pan, 9-inch cake pan I picked up at a big box retailer. Inside of that is a foil 9-inch cake pan, a disposable cake pan rather. And in here is 1 pound of beeswax. I bought that at a hobby store for about $17. Cake pans were about $1.50, and this cake pan was $4 or $5. And you could always get a 9-inch cake pan from the Goodwill or anywhere like that, and this would work equally well. You could actually put the wax in the cake pan and save a layer, but anyway, what I did is I put a regular cast iron skillet on my gas stove and used that as a heat diffuser. And just, you know, regular up. You don't turn it upside down. I turn it, you know, and then set the cake pan in it. I always turn it on low heat. I don't turn it up high. Put it on the lowest heat possible and lined the cake pan with the foil pan, and then put the brick of beeswax in. Excuse me. In about 15 minutes this will become completely molten. I don't leave any floaters or anything in it. Always wait till it's completely melted. In the meantime, you take your oven and set it on its lowest warm setting, you know, usually warm or $1.75. And you put the untreated leather sheath in there for about 10 minutes. What that does is allows the pores of the leather to open up. Once 10 minutes or so goes by, and it'll be just warm enough to touch. The metal, you know, the rivets and the dangler such, they'll be a little warmer as they're metal, but when the wax is molten and the leather is at temperature, you know, 10 minutes in the oven should accomplish that fine. What you do is you'll take the sheath and dunk it in, turn it over, dunk it in again, swish the leather all around on the inside, pour it back out into the molten wax pan, let that drip out, and then I always give it just a moment to let the sheath start to cool. Not much, a couple minutes. And then I take my knife, put it into the leather sheath, and I take an old dish rag, a clean dish rag or wash rag, and as the knife's in there, I'll take the rag and form it. As you can see here with the light, there's the relief of the knife handle. And just keep forming it for, oh, I don't know, 5 or 6 minutes. and then I just allow it to dry to room temperature. It will not be hot enough to fiddle with the temper of your knife. I've done this several times, never had an issue. Excuse me. And show you how that comes out here. Oh, also, with the fire steel loop, I tend to put a fire steel in there also. Stretch that out a little bit. Now, if you'll listen when this knife goes in, hear that click? Do that again. That clicks in there. Look at that. Here, I'll hold the dangler even. I'm not, I'm just barely holding on to it. Here, I'll put the dangler on my finger even. And if you listen, it sounds very hard, almost wooden. And I did the dangler also. Very, very tough. But the wax leather will repel water much better and stand up to moisture much better than, say, the untreated leather sheath. I don't know how well this shows up here, everybody. I showed there was a darkening, a slight darkening in the leather. Here's the untreated sheath. There's the treated sheath. So it does darken a little bit, but not unpleasantly so. It's always I always find it very very pleasing to the eye, at least. And I've done this on several knife sheaths. I've got a Bushcrafter A sheath, or a sharpshooter Bushcraft A sheath that I still own. That's very that's wax. It's very solid. And if I wanted to, if I got rid of the knife, and I'd probably send it away in this untreated leather sheath to keep the dangler for myself. Put the knife sheath in the oven. Oh, that's a step I forgot. When the sheath starts drying, there may be some leather caking up. Take the knife out, put the sheath back in the oven for a minute. Let the wax get molten again. Put the knife back in and wipe it up using your clean dish rag or dish towel. But anyway, like I was saying, if I got rid of that knife, it'd ship out in this right-handed sheath, and I could reform putting this sheath in the oven, let the wax get molten again, 8 or 9 minutes at 170, or at warm, the very lowest setting on your oven, and then take a new knife, once the sheath is softened, put it in there, and then using a clean towel, reforming it, reshaping the leather to the new knife, as long as the knife is compatible with that sheath size-wise. So, like I said, this is the best sound in the world right here, folks. I just love that. I hope you guys found this informative. If you have questions or comments, shoot them to me down there. I appreciate you guys subscribing, I certainly do. Up to 115 subscribers, that's incredible and amazing. I just can't believe it. So if there's anything I can do for you guys with questions or whatever, shoot them to me down below. And I'm going to do another video on a different kind of sheath mod. But until I get to talk to you guys again, this is Captain Bart 1 standing by.